is Vicki and Eddie, and welcome to our channel. I did a video the other day introducing Bella, who is our new fur baby that we ended up with after my mom passed away. Bella was her dog, and if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. She's very cute. But Eddie's like not a lap dog at all. But it dawned on me, maybe I need to tell you a little bit about Eddie and Lonnie. I'm going to start with Eddie, because Eddie's with me over at my mom's condo right now, and Lonnie is at home napping. But Eddie is thought to be about 19 years old. If he's not 19, he's pushing it. I've had him for 16 and a half years. He was an adult dog when I got him. He was my very first foster dog with Ratbone Rescues. And when I saw his photo that they sent me before I even saw him, when he was at the animal shelter in, what's that called? I forget. Anyway, it's in a different part of Florida, up by Pensacola. Rosa something county. Anyway, and that face, the way he just wasn't looking at anybody, I could tell. Rat Terriers, if you don't know a lot about the breed, they're not like Jack Russells. They look a lot like Jack Russells, and people confuse them, and there's a lot of mix of Rat Jacks or Jack Rats. But they have more of an off switch, I would say, than Jack Russells. But more importantly, I think they're a lot more sensitive, and they don't do well in shelters, and that's one of the reasons Ratbone Rescues was started. And Eddie was one of those. He'd been in the shelter, he'd been turned in, he'd been in the shelter a month, and he kind of like cowered in the back. You know, he was just devastated that he lost his family. And the first day I met him is I drove to Ocala and met someone from Jacksonville who he ended up in her possession as she was getting him to me. Come on, put your ugly face in the camera. He's not having it. He is not a lap dog by any means. Poor baby. He'll sit by you somewhat, but he is definitely not a lap dog. So I'm just going to put a pillow in my lap and pretend I have him. But anyway, when I met him, he came in skinny. Oh my gosh, he only weighed like somewhere between 10 and 12 pounds. I can't even remember now. He was unneutered. He was a little bit dirty. You know, I think the person who picked him up only had him like just that night. And, you know, you don't really want to traumatize them with the bath when you just pull them out of the shelter. But, I mean, he wasn't bad dirty, but, you know, he wasn't like he is today. And he was very interesting. We met at a PetSmart, and there was a couple tweens, girls, you know, I don't know, somewhere between 11 and 13 probably. There's a little group of them, and when the president of Ratbone was walking through with him, and he was walking very nice, just heeling beside her, you know, very nice. When he got to those girls, he stopped, and he had a very woe is me look, but when he got to those girls, he stopped and, you know, wanted them to pet him and wanted to interact with him a little. But anyway, so we're taking him home, and I tied him up in the back seat like I do all my dogs. I clip the seat belt and I tie them to it, or sometimes I've had the little things that goes through the seat belt and clips to their harness. But anyway, and I've always been pretty strict about not having a dog in the front seat because I'm a little afraid of, well, flying through the windshield if they come out of their harness, but more important, or more likely, because I'm always worried that the airbags are going to go off and hurt them. So I kind of have a rule about the back seat, right? Well, he kept whining, and my mom had gone with me, and she gave in, and when we made a stop, she let him out and let him ride in her lap all the way, and that was it. He's been a hard one to act right in the car since, although he's much better now. But he's old, he can't hear, you know, different things. He doesn't get around as well. He sleeps a lot these days. But anyway, when he came to us, he was pretty feisty, and he was naughty. I'll say he was kind of naughty, but he was sweet. I mean, it wasn't like he was a bad dog. He was a handful. And he and I grew rather attached to each other, and then something came up where I wasn't going to be able to foster anymore, even though he was my first foster. I wasn't going to be able to foster. Because my mom had, well, anyway, it's just a whole nother story. But anyway, trying to live within the regulations of the HOA in my neighborhood, I couldn't foster. So I decided to keep him for a couple reasons. We had bonded pretty good, And, you know, it took him, you know, I just kept seeing his face when he was homeless and how he was just so sad. And there was part of it, and then part of it is he was pretty naughty, and they had called him an escape artist when they turned him in. The people who gave him up called him an escape artist. Well, part of that might have been because he was intact. Had they had him neutered, you know, earlier, maybe he wouldn't have been. Now that was in 2004, so 16 and a half years ago, in February 2004. And they sent on his paperwork then he was 3 or 4. Now I had another rat terrier at the time named Daisy, and she was 2 years old, exactly. And he did not seem any older than her to me. I sometimes thought maybe he was a little bit older, maybe a year, but then there were times I thought maybe he was only a year old, you know. But I don't think so. I think he was probably about 2 to 3, and that's why we kind of placed him, my vet kind of places him at 19 from aging him years ago, you know. But it's all a guess when you have someone who can't tell you the birth date, you know. But anyway, I guess he liked to roam the neighborhood, and he did try to get out of our house, and we ended up, it wasn't him so much, although it was him too, but if you had the right combination of dogs, when I went back to fostering, him and another dog, if you had a digger, he'd join in on it and try to dig out under the fence. But anyway, that's how I came to get Eddie, and Eddie has really touched my heart. Eddie just, I don't know, I will always think of him as that skinny little, kind of dirty, scared little dog, and I just love him so much. And yeah, he's slowed way down. He has a terrible heart murmur, a pretty bad one. He takes, well, right now he's taking 3 medications because he has some kind of maybe kidney or bladder infection, and his kidney and thyroid numbers are off a little. They're not terrible, they're just past normal. But the heart murmurs, you know, enough to where you can hear it and feel it, actually. So, you know, I know I don't have a lot of years left with Eddie, but I love him very much, and, you know, he's a real sweetheart. And I'm going to miss him terribly when his days are up. But I don't want to end on a sad note. It's tough when you have an aging dog. They're great because, like, he used to be a big-time barker. In fact, I'll tell you a story. I bought these little, they look like bird houses that I put 2 of them on my fences. And if they barked too much at us, you know, it wouldn't get them on one bark, but on several barks, it would let out kind of a high-pitched sound to get them not to bark. And, you know, we'd get their attention and stuff. Well, anyway, so I put 2 of them out. Well, he starts his crazy barking, and which we have to be careful of again, HOA. And what happens, but it sends Daisy running in the house, like scared to death. She didn't know what that sound was. And he stays out there and barked anyway. A little monster. But anyway, so that's one Eddie story. That's what I mean when I say he was a little bit naughty. But I have lots of Eddie and Daisy stories, and it's when you have a great dog, I think those of you who've had one that really touches you, you know what I mean. And Eddie's one of those, a heart dog. So just as an afterthought, I thought, well, as long as I'm here at my mom's condo, maybe I'll give you a little tour. She did some nice upgrades to this older condo. I think it was built in the early 80s. And she did some nice upgrades, and it might be the last opportunity to do it because it does have a contract pending on it. So let me show you my mom's condo. It doesn't look exactly like it did when she lived in it. We've removed a lot of things from here, and we've staged it for sale. You know, get rid of what buyers call clutter and what we call treasures. So let's just start in the kitchen. And I'm going to be on this side of the camera so I can make sure that you see everything. So here's her kitchen when you walk in the door, which is locked. Okay, Ed, you gotta stay in. Okay, so when you walk in, there used to be a little, I call them pony walls, right there. But she took that out. And when she redid her kitchen, actually I think she took that out before she redid her kitchen. And then she did get this, which she normally had turned this way. So it created another little wall. It gave you a lot of room in the kitchen. But when you walked in, the buyers were kind of stopped by it. So in order to have people look at it and really see the whole kitchen. We turned it the other way, which is not bad. The other side has shelves and drawers for storage. So if you were really using it for anything that you used very often, you wouldn't turn it this way. But if you just want to use it to eat at, it's perfect. But anyway, she picked these white cabinets. They are custom made, and they were she was very proud that they were a green product. So she picked some with glass doors on them, and then we went and found this tile because she had a stainless steel microwave with black appliances, and we found this tile that pieces of stainless steel, like a granite, and then I don't know, black porcelain probably. But yeah, they're really nice, and lots of them. And she got that from IKEA. And so that's the kitchen. I put a little color in here with the Florida towel, because I knew that people coming to look this time of year were very likely people who'd come from up north and were spending time in Florida and might be looking for their own place to live their winters. So we wanted to give just a nod to the fact that where she lives in Dunedin is a beach community. And she had these made too at the same time by the same cabinet maker. A nice pantry. It's narrow so that it doesn't block off the hallway. It's still, you know, a legal amount of space, but it was a very nice use of space. Now we are selling the condo furnish, so there is stuff in here. It's pretty much, we'll probably have to take the Splenda out because you're not supposed to really leave food. We miss that. But yeah, we have dishes and towels and linens and everything. Like I say, you just need to bring your toothbrush. This is here to cover the ugly, what do you call those things? Breaker box. So this is the main living area. We left her dining room table with 4 chairs. She has 8. We have the other 4 stashed in other parts of the house. And one of her 3 hutches stayed. I have one, and then another one was gone. And put some nice pretty china in there. And there's still some silver serving pieces in there too, a little bit. And then down below there's some vases and bowls and platters and such. And a pretty little picture that for some reason reminds me of Cuba. But just a nod to tropical or beach or, you know, coastal, not full out kitschy. Ooh, come on. Let's focus. I think maybe it doesn't like the light. And she has a fireplace, an electric fireplace. And the TV, which I've turned off, which came back on. There's too many remotes, and I don't know how they work. I keep doing it wrong, I think. But you don't see that in every Florida condominium. And just a sofa and just a single lamp and table. And then over here, a little stand, created just a little reading nook. The little shell pillow and throw just for, it's like, you know, relaxing and using the outside light coming in to read or turn it on. And she has a little patio space. And she has the storage, outdoor storage thing, which is nice for Christmas and stuff, Christmas decorations, and that is attached to the wall, so it's definitely has to stay there. And then just a little vignette. I came over to water plants today. So that's the main living area. Let's check out the ensuite bathroom and bedroom. Squeak, squeak. So my mom had these plantation shutters put in, and hurricane windows replaced all the old windows, except for the sliding glass door, because she didn't get a hurricane for that, but it is recessed, so not as worried. So one huge closet. It's high, 2 shelves up. You can see I have 2 of the chairs stashed in here. And then that's the thing that goes on top of the table, so that the wood doesn't get scratched. You know, it's an older generation's kind of thing. I would never cover my table like that, and then they put a tablecloth over it so you don't see the cardboard thing. It's not really cardboard, but kind of. Another photo. An oil painting she had. And then the second closet, which isn't as big and certainly not as high, but it's long. And the laundry basket and a shoe rack in it. So it's the bedroom. Oh yeah, and a little wicker chair and another little throw and stuff. Kind of just a nod to the beach and the colors, and one pillow that says sandy toes, salty kisses. Just a little nod to the beach without overdoing it. And then there's her bathroom. And as you can see, she's got more of that black granite and the cabinets. Of course, a toilet and shower. We'll put just a little nod to the beach again there. When she had all this work done, she had them create a little shelf in here for shampoo and such, and a couple little shelves over there as well. And I used to have that same shower head she had. I loved it. Ours broke, but we loved it when we had it. And then this flooring matches. Hello, Edward. From the other angle, she put a mirror up and took the medicine cabinet out instead, and just left a little recessed thing. A nice mirror on the door, and then something behind. All right, let's go check out the other bedroom and bathroom. Coming from the entryway, instead of going in there, we can go into the guest bathroom, which again has a mirror on the wall, but she did leave the medicine cabinet on this one. And yeah, it's just bathtub and shower. The other was a walk-in shower. And, you know, towel rack and everything matchy. And then in the hallway, we have this little linen closet. You can see we left some pillows and iron, towels, beach towels, tablecloths, a whole bunch of them, 2 sets of sheets and pillowcases, cleaning agents and laundry detergent and stuff. So, like I say, whoever moves in can just bring their toothbrush and their swimsuit and they're ready to go. And then the second bedroom she used as an office. So we left it that way. With her desk and lamp and another oil painting. Yeah, more plantation shutters. Yep. Kind of afraid to shoot toward them. I think it's going to go blurry, but it didn't. And then the 2 armchairs that out of the 8 chairs. Just a little reading nook maybe, or whatever they want to use it for, obviously. And then the other closet, which is a walk-in. And it has the, I guess the water heater, AC. Yeah, there's the water heater. And I think that's the AC unit. And then just left them with the vacuum cleaner bags and the vacuum cleaner. My mom's little toolkit. It's probably locked up. A few more little tools and stuff. Pieces that go to the back of the TV that's on the wall. Some light bulbs. Paint. We just had the place painted, so there's the rest of it for, you know, if you have to do touch-ups. And then a little bit of her tile left for the bathroom and the kitchen. And some of the boards for this flooring in here, this darker flooring. Oops, that was my ring on these 10 doors, makes a lot of noise. So, that's it. So thanks for joining Eddie and I today. I'm going to lock up. Oh, get these plants watered. That's what I came here for. Get these plants watered and then go home. So, have a great night, or day, or morning, or afternoon. Whatever it is, make it great.